Can we just get to the draft? Like, I just want these next 2 weeks to go by like, if there was a fast forward button I could hit.
We're almost there.
I don't mind the rumors, Hannafin and now O'Reilly, and we'll get to those in a sec. But if I have to endure, and I know I'm going to, for 2 more weeks, experts and so-called experts talking about Quinn Hughes and Evan Bouchard and Noah Dobson at nauseum, like, I get it. Those are the guys. Those are the guys that are going to be there in the wheelhouse for the Canucks.
But why don't you like talking? I don't understand this.
I'm just tired of, like, I haven't heard anything new about any of these guys. Like, they are what they are. We've all read about them. We've heard about them for months on end now. Just get me to the draft. I'm done with it.
You don't think that there's going to be a late comer? A late surprise?
Well, I mean, now I'm seeing that Kokaniemi is, like, working his way. Right. Montreal at 3 if they need a center.
Right.
You know, look, Detroit and Ottawa pick ahead of the Canucks. They're both expected to take defensemen. So you can do all the mocks you want, but until I see on that Friday night what the Red Wings and what the Senators do at the podium.
How many mocks have the Wings taking Quinn Hughes?
Lots, because he's a Michigan guy. And, you know, they try to connect, like that right there. Like, forget best player available. He's a Michigan guy. And maybe Ottawa will take Boquist because he's a Swede, and they're going to get rid of Carlson, and he's just going to replace. But people connect those dots. No,
I like this. Although I like the speculation. I do like the speculation because once it happens, it's like it will never have these debates really again, right?
You're not even on to this year yet. You're still going back and looking at old mocks. You're like still trying to catch up.
I am. I'm currently. I continue. I'm obsessed with 2015. And, you know, Hannafin and why he was taken ahead of Provorov and Werenski and what could have happened if those guys were taken ahead of Hannafin. Because you sure as hell wouldn't be moving Werenski if you drafted him ahead of Noah Hannafin.
Did you hear McGuire on with Sakaris and Price comparing him to Scott Niedermayer?
Oh, I know.
Like, lots of people, you know, have been intrigued by Hannafin and where
he's
he was
the biggest Hannafin fan in the world.
That was nuts, though. Like, that was so next level. I haven't heard anybody. And look, Pierre's probably seen him more than a lot of people because this is one of my big deals with Hannafin now. You can claim that you are all in on the NHL and claim to know everything about the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
People haven't seen Noah Hannafin. Like, I saw him twice this year, which is double in person.
You can break down the numbers.
You can break down the numbers, absolutely. But in terms of the eyeball test here, he plays for Carolina. Nobody's watching.
Do we trust the eyeball test if the eyeball guy's comparing him to Niedermayer?
Well, when you're hearing about you know, things like his skating ability, you know, I'm not sure.
He's okay. I mean, he's a good quality defenseman.
But I saw him twice. I saw Carolina twice. You saw Carolina twice this year. He didn't jump off the page in either of those games. I get that's a ridiculously small sample size.
But you know enough to say, if I say to you, like, who do you want, Werenski or Hannafin?
Sure.
Of course.
I'm in Camp Werenski.
Yeah.
Every time.
Right. So.
If you could make Noah Hannafin a right-handed shot, I would listen to anything you had to say.
I am so on board, like, to pay this type of premium for a left shot guy who's not going to rip it up on the power play. Like, he just doesn't have the skill set. I think he had 7 power play points this past season. You know, there's some room for improvement there, but he's just not. And even if you go back to that draft, people were talking about him being offensively limited over the course of his career, not being a guy who you can depend on, who you could potentially be, you know, 50 to 60 points, like the type of star that you want to get with a top 10 pick. He's still good. Still good. I definitely shows you that at 7 or in anywhere in the top 10, you can get a quality defenseman. There's every year, there's lots of them available. They're there to be taken, and they're going to be there. So, like, for instance, when I hear people, oh, they'll trade 7 for Ryan O'Reilly, there is no chance. There is 0 chance the Canucks are trading number 7 to get Ryan O'Reilly. Like, if that I just give up. If that happens, like, I am so out on everything to do with this team. I'm just done with it all. But there's just no way that they would do that, because if you look at that 2015 draft, right, those guys, like, Hannafin's already good. He's good. Werenski and Provorov are great. It's 2 years later, 2017-18. You know, Werenski's in the Norris conversation. It doesn't take 5 years for these guys to develop. Like, if you get the right guy, he can be in your lineup and excelling in 2 seasons.
Right, and that was McAvoy's draft as well. And so you could make this argument that, you know, Hanifin.
Well, McAvoy was the next year. He's the 16. He's the U11 year. Charlie McAvoy was taken in the U11 year. So.
Right. Okay. My bad on that one.
But even I mean, it drives the point even further. Like this idea, oh, well, the Canucks can't wait 3 years for the guy to even show up. Well, they get the right guy. They won't have to wait 3 years.
Like, I like when I read, you know, the underlying numbers on Hanifin and his ability to, you know, the zone exits and his ability to gain the zone and all those types of things. Look, Canucks can use all of that. But we've been talking for months about this logjam that they've got to clear on the left side, and that to me would just muddle the issue that much more. That's why I say if he was a right-hander, I'd have all day for this discussion, because that's the area that they need to truly address. So, you know, we'll see where it goes. I get why he's available. Like, they've created a bit of a logjam themselves in Carolina. He's kind of the fourth guy there. They think he's expendable. They need help elsewhere. All of the changes. Like, I do expect that Carolina's going to be active.
It is weird. Is it like? I mean, I understand that they desperately need a center, and they desperately want to change things up, and they've committed to other guys. They don't want to pay Hanifin. But it is not often a player of his age with his background is available. You know, a defender. You know, this soon after a draft, after showing like he's a good player, like definitely not a bust.